man. What's left in my life?
Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Oh my god, what a fucking 2, 3 days it's been. Last week was fucking crazy, wasn't it? It was just crazy and it's got me exhausted. I'm exhausted, tired, I haven't slept in like a week. That move up last week, that was just fucking crazy. Yeah, that killed me. I've been dead ever since. My energy levels are gone. But I hope you guys are doing well, and let's get to it. Let's get to what we have here before our eyes. Fuck, you see, I'm so tired. All right, now if you check this out, today I had just gotten up and I looked at my chart, and what I was looking at is this morning. I was looking at first of all, let's look at what's happening right now. If you notice here, the 11:11 1 minute, it looks like the same pattern as yesterday. Came up, rejected before minus 14.79, and came back down below the EMA, right? And now it's just hovering around there. And what it's going to do here is just chop, 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 chop. And eventually, I believe it's going to curve down, not up. Now, why do I believe that? Because this morning when I had gone up, I was looking at the price action, and I happened to have the Williams 578 high on my screen. Let's get that. There we go. That's better, isn't it? That's the Williams 578 high. All right, I had that on my screen, and I saw it was going for this top right around here. And I thought, oh boy, this is topped and it's got to come down. That's why I thought about taking my short entry. And it's the same thing that I did yesterday, right? Look at this. This was yesterday. Right? But today, it's just like chop, chop, come down, chop, 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 right? So that's kind of fucked up. Now, I explained in the chat how I got this short entry. What I did was I took this peak. At that time, this pivot wasn't here. I don't believe it was here. I took this pivot, and I kind of drew a trend line there. Okay? And I saw it breaking below here. So I took my trade somewhere around there. And what I did is later it did bounce back up. It was coming up. Rather than exit the trade that I took around here, what I did is at that time I used my stop to be above this pivot. Okay, and then it did reject lower. And after I started to use this trend line. Okay, so I started to use this trend line as the resistance. Okay, now here's how I knew it was going to be a chop. I knew it was going to be a chop because of the distance between the Williams line and the trend line. Do you see that? That's how I knew that there would be a chop. And I guess I could probably draw a trend line over here from the bottom, right? And we'll know when it breaks, it'll go down. Okay, but that's how I knew it was going to be a chop until about, this is what, 11:39 UTC? Okay, I was getting a different reading before. Okay, I guess it changed, but that's fine. All right, that's one way to read it. Another way you could read it is like this. See that? Okay, so this could dump here. Or it could continue on over here and dump here. We would like for it to dump over here. Now if it continues to dump here, if it goes over, what does that mean? It's going for a new top. It's going to go higher. It's going to break bullish. So because of that, oh fuck. Hang on a minute. Okay, I gotta refresh this. My screen's been fucking up. Hang on, give me a minute. There we go. Okay, so we're back where we were. Okay, so I believe that it should dump right now. But if it doesn't dump right now, it's going to continue to go sideways until it gets to this line. And getting over 91.45 would be dangerous. Why? Because that would make the next resistance this pivot, which is 92.10. So if I were intelligent, I would put my stop over 91.55 just to be safe. And I'm going to do that right now. Okay, let me just do that right now, guys. Give me a minute. Okay, so move your, if you're in the short trade, move your stops to 91.55. Okay, done. All right. Now, yikes, that's not what I wanted. Okay, very good. Now we're back here. So moved our stops to 91.55, and what we want to watch out for next is for this to come down here. But if it gets over, we don't want it to get over this 800 EMA on the Williams, because getting over the 800 EMA on the Williams will bring it over 91.45, okay? And we don't want to do that, okay? We don't want that to happen. Okay, that's the 1 minute. That's the action we got on the 578 high. Now, what we'd like to see on the 578 high is for it to put in lower highs, okay? That's what we would like to see. Will it happen? We don't know, okay? We're going to have to wait and see. And on the price action, all right, this is what we're dealing with. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. Over here, the red one is the TEMA, TEMA 1000, okay? It's the TEMA 1000, so we want it to stay below that, okay? But most definitely going over the 800 EMA is not good. That the 800 EMA is a white line, so we want it to stay below, and that is 91.45. So my stop is now above that, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, here's a better view. Now, before entering this trade, do you see how I told you that I took an early entry based on the Williams 578 high? Yeah, I took an early entry there. But how did I get some help? I got some help from GANFAN. So I drew this GANFAN, and what did I notice? I noticed that it already had broken below the blue 1-to-1. All right? And what's the significance of this blue 1-to-1? Well, above the blue 1-to-1, from the pivot low, it is completely bullish. Okay? What happened is it broke below, and then it got a bounce on the red 2-to-1. And it bounced all the way up. You see that? It bounced all the way up. It took out those stops, and then it started coming down. So when it was about to reject here, I thought, and I looked at the Williams, I thought that this was worth risking a short entry, right? Because what would I lose? You know, the Williams was putting in a lower top, and this top was already in, right? And it was the second time the Williams had come up, right? The second time. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look here, it already came up here, and then people probably tried to short this move. It came back down. Do you see it? And then it came back up again to kill everybody who tried to short this. Okay? So the second move up, and then it came down, and then it was going lower over here. That's what kind of told me it's worth the risk of shorting, right? It was a much better deal than shorting here. Now, my question to you guys is this: Would I have shorted this? Yes or no? No. Why? Because at that time, the 800 EMA was all the way down here. You see that? I would not have shorted that. What's our normal short entry requirement? Our normal short entry requirement is that the Williams on the 1111 needs to break below minus 28.77 and break the 800 EMA. Right? Now, I'm using the 578 right now. And you notice it's very weak because the 800 EMA didn't even make it up here. Okay, it didn't even make it up there. And this is for the high, for the tops. So anyway, we got an early short, and that allowed me to have some breathing room while it came down. And I still got some breathing room. All right, so it did pay off, and it's the same thing that I did yesterday. Okay, so if you guys actually begin to pay attention to the charts and focus and invest your time in yourself, you're going to start to notice a lot of patterns that could become useful. Imagine if you could spot the same pattern like 20 or 30 times. How amazing would that be for you? Okay, now which pivot should we use? Should we use this pivot to draw our next scan fan, or should we use this one? Well, since I want to test this trend line that I drew, this green one, not this one, the lower green one, I'm going to use this pivot. Okay? So you have to develop your own logic or understanding through your own experience of which pivots are important, which pivots are not. Do you see what I'm saying? So I wanted to test this trend line here, so I'm going to use this pivot. Right, it makes more sense because I'm testing this trend line. If I wanted to test this trend line, I would use this pivot. Okay, so with some practice and with some time, hey, you're going to be able to figure it out on your own. So let's draw the Gann fan. Now, I think everybody knows how to draw the Gann fan, but some people are new to the group, so I will show them. Oh, this is interesting. You see that gap? There's a gap up here at 9,200. Very interesting. And I'll be honest with you, just because of that gap, I will maybe close my trade because it tells me there's a big chance that the price is going to come back up. Will it come right back up now? No, but it will. It could. It could take some time to come back up, but at least I'll secure my profit. Okay, you see that? There you go. That's how you draw the fan. Now let me do that again for you. Okay, so first thing to draw the fan. When you're about to draw the fan, choose a pivot that you think is important. And I use the Williams to get some confluence between the chart and the Williams. Okay. Now, first you got to go over here to this drawing tool and choose the trend angle. And then go to the pivot, place it right above. Now, one rule is that the most important rule is once you begin to draw the angle and the fan, do not touch the zoom button. Do not change the zoom of your screen. To be sure, what you can do is right click. To be sure, you can right click if you're a beginner and press lock vertical line on time axis. Click that. Okay, very good. We got that. Now go to the drawing tool. Click on trend angle. So locking the screen prevents you from zooming. Now click on the point you want to drive from. Draw 45-degree angle. 45. There you go. It's a 45-degree angle. All right. Now, do not touch the zoom button. Don't change the zoom. Go here. Go right to GAN fan. And now you're going to go right back to where you drew the 45-degree angle, right to the try to make it precise, as precise as you can. Okay? You got to get a hang of this. And as soon as you get it on, draw it. Now you got to match the blue 1-to-1 line with the yellow line of with that line showing you the 45-degree angle. There you go. You see how I got that? Okay. Now what do I have? Now, once you have drawn the GAN fan, you can zoom. Okay, I can unlock the axis. Now what happens if you zoom? Notice here that the position of this 45-degree angle changes. But the fan does not change. So I want to make it clear that when you are about to draw the fan and the angle, do not touch the zoom button until after you have drawn both the angle and the fan. Clear? That's all you got to understand. After you have drawn the fan, it's okay to zoom. Okay? After you have drawn the fan, if this 45-degree angle changes, that's fine. That's just because of TradingView software or whatever. You don't need to worry about it. Okay? Now, when that changes, do not reposition your fan. Okay? The fan is fine. But one thing, just to be clear, every once in a while, you need to redraw your fans. Every day, every 2 days. Why? Because you might accidentally move them without knowing, especially if you're using mobile, and it has happened to me before several times. Okay, what does this fan tell us? 2 important lines, red 2-to-1, blue 1-to-1, okay? From the pivot high, the more it goes to the right, the more bullish it gets. See what I'm talking about? Okay, do you see how that was a drop? And then what happened as it started? Oh, it got more bullish. Do you see how that works? Amazing, right? I wish I had drawn that before. So now what's happening here? Is it going to go above? Well, there's this resistance here, right? So what's going to happen? It's going to come down, hopefully. But if it goes above this red 2-to-1, it is most likely going to go up to this 8-to-1 line, okay? Now, the importance of this 8-to-1 line on the top of the fan is that if it breaks above, it can and most likely will go to a new high, higher than this pivot high, okay? Now, what can it do next? It can fall off of the fan from the pivot low right here. It can fall and dump, or it can fall, make a new pivot to move up from. Okay? Both of these are possibilities. And what you need to do is study the link about the GAN fan strategy that I have already put up for you. Okay? Just to make it clear. So some people didn't know how to draw the fan, and they were saying that what's his name, Ashok, or I forgot his name. The guy who did the GAN fan video was kind of unclear, or because of his accent or whatever. But I'm gonna make another video just to be very clear about how to draw the GAN fan. Okay. Now, if you notice this trade here, near this 8-to-1 line, is gonna get shaky. Okay, it's gonna get very, very shaky. So since I'm clever, I know that this Williams needs to bottom. All right, and I know there's a gap up there. So to be honest with you, I'm inclined to closing my short trade very soon. All right, now let's go to the 827 low. Okay, very good. This, folks, is the 827 low. All right, and what's the 827 low telling me? The 827 low is telling me that it might dump soon. Now let me draw new trend lines for the 827 low. Do you see how the 827 low is giving me a different reading? Okay, now let me get this here. Draw a trend line here on the 827 low. Okay, just about there. All right. Now, what happens if it goes over this trend line? Then I'm probably gonna close. Okay. Where did it land, guys? On the 827 low, on the rebound line, rebound line, rebound line. So what's it gonna do? It's gonna chop for a little bit. All right. It's gonna chop for a little bit, and this EMA it needs to come down and bring the price down with it. So yeah, it's gonna be a choppy ride. Okay. Choppy ride. And let me see, are you guys tuned in? Yeah, you guys are tuned in. Wow, okay, cool. Okay, so that's what it is. And I'm looking for, as soon as the 1 minute bottoms here on the 827 low, I'm closing my trade. Look what happened yesterday. Bottom, bounce, bottom, bounce, bottom, bounce. Once it bottoms, there really isn't that much more downside, okay? So as soon as the 827 1 minute bottoms, I'm closing my trade. Okay, I'm gonna post a note. Oh shit! And the 827 low is the bottom. It's not listed on this chart. The bottom of 827 low is minus 99.14. Yeah, minus 99.14. Okay. The bottom on 827 low is at minus 99.14. Not visible on this chart. Okay, let's add that. Let's add that in right now. Okay, if you want to draw the horizontal lines, that's it. Put it there, and let's make it red. Minus 99.14. Very good. There you go. That's your bottom. Okay. So we're waiting for that. And as soon as that happens, it's going to be short trade closed. Okay. Now, folks, what happens next? Do we long it? Honestly, do we long it? No. Why don't we long? Because the money is in the shorts. You see this short trade? Bang. Easy. See this long trade? Bing, bing, bing. It was choppy. If you're in that long trade, it took time. Okay, now why do I know that I should be in a short trade? Because when I look at this chart, where's that chart? Where the fuck is that chart? Fuck shit. Yeah, it's this one. Very good. Sorry guys, my resolution is messed up because I had to change the resolution to do the screen, and normally I have a widescreen monitor. Okay, check this out. This here is the pivot low before the run. Okay, and the fuck? Yeah, that's the pivot low from the bottom. and it is below the blue 1-to-1. Motherfucker. Okay, anyway, let's not get into it. I'm going to just tell you right now that this is a blue 1-to-1 from the bottom, okay, before this run up. And what happened is it fell below the blue 1-to-1. So once it's below the blue 1-to-1 from the pivot low, this is the lowest pivot, it is no longer a long. It is easier to short. So what does that mean? Just wait for every pump. And after every pump, look for a short entry. Okay, that's a smart thing to do. So once it's below the blue 1-to-1 from the pivot low, there's no longer a long entry, no longer a long swing trade entry. Wait to short. Okay, that's how I know the money is in shorts. Anybody who's taking a long is going to get chopped out real quick. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys. All right, and let's take a look at my other chart. Oh, this is going to dump. Where should I put my shit, man? Fuck. Yeah, I don't think this is dumping deep. I'm going to put some buy orders at right here at 90.34. Okay. Yeah, not 90.34. Shit. I'm going to change it to 90. Yeah, I'm going to change my buy orders to 90.54. And change them to 90.62. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do 90.68. 90.68, just to be safe. Okay. Wait a minute. Maybe we should draw another fan from this pivot high. How about that? That's what we should do. Okay, let's do that before we go based on this, because this pivot is more important. Okay, let's do that together. Okay, before I rush to a fucking conclusion, let me just see what the other picture looks like. Before I rush to a decision, let me make sure I understand the full picture. Right, why this higher pivot always takes precedence. It's always more important. Why it carries more weight. Okay, and what does the higher pivot tell us? It confirms my idea. Okay? It confirms my idea that it would need to go over 91.45 to become bullish. All right, so yeah, this is going to chop a little bit more. It's just going to keep chopping, okay, until it decides to come down. So no, I'm not changing my buy order. I'm not changing the buy order to close my long. I believe that, yeah, it'll go down here, it'll try to come up and eventually keep dumping down, okay? So I'm sticking to my short with the stop above 91.45, okay? Is sorry, what did I say? Did I just say I'm closing my short? Yeah, so what's the bottom going to be? Let's check that out now, guys. All right, now the bottom here would be 89.92, lower than that. I believe it's going for a lower low. So it'd go lower than 89.92. And now how I'm going to estimate the bottom is, yeah, I'm going to stick to my short, okay? But how am I going to estimate my bottom? I'm going to look at this chart here. Now, folks, this is something that I'm not going to be introducing to you guys yet, but I use the Williams 1999 close to estimate supports and resistances, okay? Now, what does it tell me here? This pivot here, that's our 91.19. So in order to go above to the next level, it will need to get above 91.40. So you see how that corresponds with my stop loss, right? To get to the next level, it would need to do that. Now, on the Williams 1999, there's a lot of room to go down. It has already topped. It's topped. There's a lot of room to go down. So I use the Williams 1999 for a bigger overall picture, okay? For a bigger overall picture. Okay, for a bigger overall picture. And where's the bottom? That's interesting. I believe that this time it could be that the bottom will be lower than over here. All right, why? It's bearish. Now let's go to a higher time frame. Let's go to the 5-minute. What's the 5-minute saying? Shit, I gotta refresh it. Sorry, guys. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. What's interesting is yesterday, it was dumping, but then it bounced right here and saved the 5-minute from dipping lower. Do you see that? Right? And what's happening today? It bounced and it rejected at the 800 EMA, and now it's going lower. Now the next thing I believe it's going to do is take out this low and go lower and then bounce back up, and then we're going to short the bounces. That's the way to go. So pretty much, as I said yesterday, with the more time that passes, the more bearish the larger time frames become. Why? The more sideways the 1-minute, 5-minute, 6-minute go, the more time the higher time frames have to go down. Why? So what happened yesterday? It went down here, a little bounce, made a lot of room. Now what's going to happen? The next dip is going to take it lower. Do you see it? And that's going to bring the bigger time frames a little bit lower. Then this will come back up a bit, right? Give some breathing room and then go for another leg down. So slowly, the 1-minute, 6-minute, 5-minute, or whatever are bringing down the larger time frames, okay? Now, once the 1-minute bottoms, then you can start to think that, hey, something's about to change. You get what I'm saying? Right around then, but you'd use the low, not the close for it. Okay, so that's a 1999, and I'm not going to really release a guide about this or how to. I'm just doing it in the live stream with you guys because it's still something that I'm working on, and there's going to be a lot more stuff. Ooh, 9102, I like that. All right, very good. Okay, like I said, it's going to keep bouncing. All right, so we're going to watch. This here is the low, and in order for this pattern of lows to continue, we need a rejection over here. We need it to go down, please. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I am completely drained of energy. I have not had any kind of good sleep in the last weekish. So yeah, people saying I'm dead. Do you guys got questions? Hit me with your questions in Discord. All right. Questions. So again, let me reiterate my stance. We are not taking any longs. Why? Because the price is below the blue 1-to-1 from this pivot low. Okay? So what does that mean? My screen is not clear, but I'll post a chart later. As soon as it's below the blue 1-to-1 from the pivot low, we do not take longs. We short the bounces. Why? Because in order to go bullish again, it needs to go to a lower pivot low. Okay? Very clear. So yeah, we're going back down here again. Believe it or not. Okay? Unless somebody just buys a lot and pushes it all the way up, which is not going to happen. Okay? So pretty much, let me tell you what happens. What I believe my idea is, the exchanges or the whales, they use some of their money to give you this big pump. And what that does is it excites you and all of us and everybody, all of retail, to take their Bitcoin and bring it to the market, put it on leverage so that you can make more. It excites you. Do you see that? So they invest, let's say, for example, they invest $100 million to give you this pump. And then people bring in $200, $300, $400 million of Bitcoin. And what happens? They leverage it. Why leverage? They want more, so you use your leverage. And then what the exchanges do is they chop you over here, and they get a return on their investment. On this $100 million pump, they're gonna take away $300 to $400 million of Bitcoin, of your Bitcoin, that you brought to the market and put on the table because you were excited about this pump continuing. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? That's pretty much. I'm not saying the numbers are exact, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of how I see this. Right? The whole market, it's fucked. It's more or less. It's a scam, in my opinion. Okay? Yeah, because people do scammy shit. If Williams crosses the trend line on the 827 low, it's probably safer to close. Yes, sir. Okay? Guys, scalps. Come on, they're 1 minute scalps. Be happy with the profit. Ooh, see what I'm saying? Isn't that what I just said would happen? Isn't that what I said would just happen, right? Now watch. Is it going to go that high? Is it going to go past this? You guys, look at this. It just pumped right there, right? As I said, I thought it would, right? That is pretty fucking cool. But now, if it goes over this red, 2-to-1, the outside one, it will be bullish, okay? But I believe that it'll stop before there. So that's how they're chopping everybody, and it's amazing that I could see this. So yeah, by all means, if it goes above this red 2-to-1 from the pivot high, it will become bullish, okay? It will become bullish and go higher. But until then, it's just a chop. As I told you guys earlier today, it's just a chop. So this is pretty much dump, consolidation, dump, try to go back up, dump, try to go back up, hunt everybody, dump, try to go back, hunt everybody, dump, try to go back, hunt everybody, dump, consolidation, dump, go back, hunt everybody, right? And then what's going to happen, if it gets over here, yeah, it'll go bullish, right? But let's see what happens. I think this red 2-to-1 will reject it. What's my Williams saying? Uh-oh, that's trouble, okay? This little low. All right, we need to go to the high. Okay, we need to go to the high. Let's go to the 578 high. Oh shit, that's the EMA. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get stopped here. Maybe if it's bullish. All right, 578 high. Okay. All right, now the 578 high. Uh-oh, it's a breakout. Is it? If it gets over this red 2 to 1, it's a breakout, and I'm gonna get stopped. Okay. If it gets over this red 2 to 1, it's a breakout. Otherwise, it's just a fake move. Let's wait and see. Yep. See that? Bang! What did I tell you, huh? Well, I might be wrong. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. So if you remember, I wanted to close my short trade because I had drawn this fan from this pivot, and it showed me that it's going to the right and becoming more bullish. But the fan from this pivot high is the one I chose to draw later, and it showed me that it would need to go past this red 2 to 1 to go bullish. All right, so has it done that? No, it hasn't, and it got blocked by the 800 EMA. And also, if you guys recall, just a short while ago, I said that, hey, if you want to short near the 800 EMA. Bang. Isn't that beautiful confluence, guys? So keep that in mind for next time, eh? A pivot high, 800 EMA, and the red 2 to 1. Fucking cool. Now, yeah, I think that's a rejection. It's a strong rejection, all right? Should be shorted. You could enter short right here with a stop above 9145. Okay. Short scalp can be entered here. Okay, with a stop above 9145. It got rejected by the 2 to 1 pivot high resistance and the 800 EMA. As I said earlier, look to short near the 800 EMA on the 1 minute. There you go, guys. All right. Okay, now this should come down. If it goes over 9145, I'm out of my trade, okay? Now, pretty simple. There's nothing to long. I'm not longing. If you guys want to long and look for the long signal, that's all on you. I'm not that greedy. Okay? So, shit, I'm exhausted. Yeah, that's what I got for you. No more questions? Nah. All right. I might just take it easy for a day since I've had a lot of winning trades. And guys, when I take a chance, like last night before I went to bed, yeah, I try to enter a scalp. And that was just for the fuck of it, not based out of TA. I said it was just for chance, right? Yeah, my trades are usually pretty good. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna let this come down. Now, where would I close? Interesting question. Where am I gonna close this fucker? Oh fuck. Honestly, it's hard to say right now. It's hard to exactly say. We're going to have to wait. But right now, my only target to close is at the 827 bottom at 99 point whatever. Okay? That's all I got for you. I don't got an exact price point because this could still bounce. And I'm not sure if it bounces. My stop is there. But yeah, I think it's going back down. So we'll see how far it goes. Okay, so guys, stay safe, and yeah, let's make some money, right? Let's make some money, and yeah, everything's gonna be good if we make some money, right? Everyone's gonna be happy. Get some rest, guys. I'm exhausted. When you're exhausted and you're tired, you make bad decisions. So I'm probably gonna take a day off trading, I guess, maybe. All right, I'll still post in the group. All right. Yeah, Tony Stark, your stop is too tight. Yeah, I mentioned the gap. Fucking right. Okay, yeah, but because of the gap, I believe that. Well, there was, yeah, this gap. Okay, that's true. There's also a gap at. There's a gap at 9201. Okay, yeah, man, because there is a gap at 9201. I believe downside may be limited. Very good. Nice catch. Okay, BTC scalps. So I will close at bottom of 827 low. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you. Okay, so stay safe. If you want to take a short right now, you can short it here with a stop above 9145. Okay, and ride the short until Williams 827 hits the bottom. Okay, very good, wonderful. So take care, make profit, stay safe, and limit your leverage. Okay. And if you got questions, hit me up in Discord. Right, I'll be around. All right, thank you for watching, and take care. Oh yeah, I got new stuff coming for us soon. All right, just chill out. Okay, we're gonna make a lot of money. I always say we're gonna make a lot of money, and we will, and we are.